After the break, all of the day's finance news. To finance now, and the share market has fallen flat for a second trading day following a major shake-up to the Reserve Bank. Here to help crunch the numbers is late news money man, Chief Investment Officer Scott Phillips from Motley Fool. Good evening, Scott. Before we go to the markets, I want to get your thoughts on the RBA review. It's a big call to split the board in two.
Ellie, good evening. It certainly is, and this follows a review conducted before the government, which recommended exactly this. In fact, 51 individual recommendations, including having a different board, a different group of people make the interest rate decisions other than the current supervisory board that oversees the rest of the Reserve Bank. Now, it is a case of hopefully more accountability and potentially a different composition of that board, maybe more economists and bureaucrats who are trying to get these calls right. Whether it changes the accuracy or the likelihood of better outcomes, I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Now, this report was sparked after the central bank hiked interest rates 10 times, despite saying they would hold steady until 2024. But I want to ask, is it fair to place the blame solely on them?
That is a fantastic question. The easy answer is, or the obvious answer is no. Despite the fact that Governor Lowe did say, by the way, he didn't say it wouldn't happen. He said it won't happen until prices rise, and he didn't think that would happen until 2024. He's still wrong, but he never made that specific promise. Look, the rest of the world's central banks, literally right around the Western world, the Bank of England, the US Federal Reserve, the European Central Bank, plenty of others beside, were caught on the hop. We haven't had inflation like this for the best part of 40 years. So, look, they made a bad mistake. We know that. They also made a bad mistake with their timing. Those things are clear. But I've got to say, Phil Lowe is in very, very good company. I don't think this should be the right response to a painful but very understandable, very reasonable mistake made by our central bank.
OK, now let's move on to Qantas and their bid to acquire Alliance. The consumer watchdog is giving them a bit of grief, aren't they?
They really are. And this is fascinating because, of course, we've got Qantas trying to take over Alliance Aviation. We've got ANZ doing a deal with Suncorp. Hopefully, the ACCC is also looking at. And it comes down to whether or not competition is meaningfully stymied by these deals. Now, fair to say, the mergers wouldn't happen if they weren't in the interest of the acquiring party, in this case, Qantas, buying Alliance Aviation. But what happens to the rest of the market? Are consumers and small businesses disadvantaged by these mergers? The ACCC at this point saying they believe that is going to be the case. There are already only two significant domestic players. Add in Rex, throw in Alliance Aviation. That's 4 to 3 means a reasonable restriction, I think, of competition. That's certainly the ACCC's concern.
Right, and a lot of red for the ASX today.
Yeah, unfortunately, particularly in the resources space, which fell 2%, materials in particular, 2% today. Now, real questions about commodity prices moving forward. It does come down to, I think, the broader concerns about economic growth, not so much locally, but globally.
And Scott, just quickly, what are the futures pointing to tonight?
I wish I could finish with better news, Ellie. Unfortunately, early US futures trading suggests a decline of about 0.75% for their market. If that does come to fruition, it might be a tough day for our market here tomorrow.
Scott Phillips, thank you.
Thanks, Ellie.
When we come back, tomorrow's weather details. Stay with us.
Welcome back. We're enjoying widespread dry and calm conditions at the moment as a high pressure system sitting over the Bight extends almost right across the country. But an isolated area of showers along the east coast delivered falls of up to 40 millimetres near Wollongong and 25 across Sydney's western suburbs. The high will edge a little further east tomorrow, once again delivering dry skies to most of the country. Perth will end the working week under beautiful blue skies and a top of 29, partly cloudy top of 21 for Adelaide. Hobart is heading for 20, cloudy skies for Melbourne, also 20, mostly sunny in Canberra 21, dry in Sydney with a top of 22. Brisbane can expect to reach 26 with a slight chance of a shower or two popping up through the day. And Darwin could get some light showers along with a chance of a storm, a top of 32. Things won't change much as we kick off the weekend. A sunny top of 31 for Perth, 23 in Adelaide, 20 in Hobart again, 21 in Melbourne and also Canberra, 22 in Sydney, 26 in Brisbane with only the slight chance of a shower. Sunny skies for Darwin and 34 degrees, so there's some lovely warm weather for most of us this weekend, Ellie.
And that's Nine's late news for this Thursday. Our next bulletin is at 5 a.m, followed by the Today Show with Carl and Sarah. Thanks for your company. I'm Airlie Walsh from the two of us. Good night.